What is up, guys? SDFC Bros coming back from our weekly getaway
Our weekly getaway.
in PB.
It was a good getaway this time,
It was
too.
a great getaway.
Yeah.
I thought this, I think, for me, best watch party, hands down. It overtakes Tony's Pepperonis, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
How you been, though?
I mean, I've been great. It's been good. I think Saturday was a lot of fun. Man, I think it was a staple for San Diego, and I don't know. It's usually around this time we're disappointed by the Padres. We were.
Typical Padres
typical.
performance.
It looked like people were probably down. But if you have no team to support, we're still here. You know what I'm
San
saying?
Diego FC is giving a reason for people to believe.
Yeah.
Real talk.
I'm not saying jump ship officially, but just know that there's still a team to root for right now.
Heck yeah. There's still a San Diego team in the off season.
Right.
So lots to talk about, lots to discuss. Positive, nice little 4-2 win versus Houston Dynamo. But if you guys are new here, make sure you guys check us out. Links in the description below for TikTok and Instagram. Also, leave a comment. If you're new, if you're at the watch party for PB, which was absolutely mental, or hell, even if you went to the game, also let us know.
Yeah. Also, this is my second shirt that I've lost. So if you did happen to be at the watch party and do know somebody who has an extra shirt,
it's probably Carlos's
it's probably
shirt.
mine.
Yeah.
It's the Costco ones that they did a while ago, but that's lost. So
if you have Carlos's shirt, also let us know in the comment
please.
section below.
Thank you.
But let's jump into it, yeah?
Right.
So obviously this was San Diego FC's winless streak, right? 2 losses and a draw. And really, I think in this game, we just wanted to see a reaction. We just wanted to see a spark from these guys. And I said in the last episode that I wanted to see that, right? Maybe if a loss happens, but I still see, some fight and a good reaction, then okay, maybe it can happen. But realistically, the only result coming into this game had to get 3 points, right? The only result in this game had to be 3 points, right? I mean, considering kind of the gravity of the situation, right? With San Diego FC just dropping points week after week after week, right? And I mean, look, playoffs is around the corner like how we've been saying. And obviously we were talking about other teams riding a lot of momentum, right? LAFC with Sun, Vancouver with Muller, right? That injection of, I guess, just belief and kind of courage and, just at the right time of the season as well, right before playoffs. So obviously San Diego FC go down first in this game. Initial reactions, right? What was going through your head? We're down first in the 15th minute.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, here we go again. There was still some hope though, because I know we're a second half team, not a second hand team, second half team. So I don't know. It was just like, let's just wait to see how the game plays. I think it was just a stupid, poor goal. Definitely brought the the environment down in San Diego a little bit, and then also kind of just got back to, okay, well now Houston's going to play a low block, and that's going to be very hurtful for us because, I mean, Houston needed to win that game to even be close to playoffs or keep their chances alive. So it was like you take the 1-0 and you get the hell out of Houston. You know what I'm saying? You stay in Houston. So it was a little tough, but I was like, you know what? If at any there was still some belief because I knew at the end of the day we needed to win this, and I think the team felt that. And I think a little bit even with that goal, even then I think the team kind of felt like they were playing that well. And honestly, there's times where we've played and we have a lot of chances in front of goal. And they're kind of stupid, honestly, lackluster. But these ones, something seemed like it was gonna just happen.
Right.
Where in the last few games, it really hadn't felt like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There just seemed like something was going to happen where there was going to be a goal. But yeah, as the game continued, even then, because I know it's a pretty long time before we get into the next goal, but regardless, I think there was a lot of times where our number 9s were actually doing their job this time. Maybe they weren't scoring goals, but they were playing pivotal roles, and you just didn't see a Chucky or Dreyer in that next position that they wanted to. So I think even in the vlog I said to you, we have a 9 doing what a 9 did with Breyer on that run, and perfect for it, and it's
Yeah.
like there's still not somebody there.
Yeah, I wanted to really touch upon that, right? Chucky had a lot of really good chances, right?
Right.
To put at least two away, and just these finishes were not good enough. And right, if you're talking about, I know last week we were saying, he's the guy, he's the DP we pay the big bucks to, and it's like if he's going to take on that responsibility of being, one of the players that this team can kind of look to kind of get us out of a tough situation, these are moments that really define a game.
Right.
And it's like, look, I know we maybe got lucky, or I don't even think we got lucky, but I want to kind of stay on track here
Yeah.
with Chucky a little bit. I feel like, again, it goes to the point where it's like if he's the guy that these players need to look to kind of get out of trouble, he needs to be putting away these chances.
Agreed.
Because otherwise the game could be way different. Maybe we kind of change the tactics a little bit, maybe play a little bit more conservative. But I think we resorted back to kind of San Diego FC of the old. Like, I remember us kind of talking in the bulk of the middle of the season, right, where we were kind of changing around the roster, and I feel like we were kind of doing similar to that in these last previous games, right, with McVay at right back, or kind of not so much out and out fullbacks on those certain positions. And in this game, we returned back to that. We saw Negri come in, and we saw Harangi come in, coming back from an injury. I want to talk about your boy Negri, because I think there's been a lot of times where he makes some mistakes, and it definitely kind of comes to bite us in the ass. And I think that first Houston goal came through on that left-hand side.
Right.
So it's like now, like for me, it's like I'm asking questions about Negri's kind of judgment in these certain defensive moments. But
I think you're just.
am I hating?
I think you're just.
Am I nitpicking here?
I think you're just nitpicking because it's like, and I get it. Bambino's always going to be our left back, and I respect that no matter what. I get that, but I think, Negri doesn't play that often, and when he does, it's not like he's the only one making issues. You know what I'm saying? It just happened to be this time, and a lot of the times when Negri does mess up, it's not the only fault of why we've lost the game or we've conceded a goal. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
But I think to even add to your point, to what you're saying about Chucky, I think Negri actually helped Chucky get into a lot more positions to score.
Fair enough.
Where like Bambino doesn't go up as much.
He's not an offensive
No,
fullback.
but Negri fully does, which allowed Chucky to kind of rotate in the middle and did give him, I think, I would say, 2 or 3 real chances.
They play off of each other.
Yeah, I think gave him 2 real chances where again Chucky doesn't capitalize.
Right.
And I think if we're gonna go back to that, regardless, I think you're right. Like we got to come back to that conversation. Like Chucky is our DP. You know what I'm saying? And was the poster boy. You know what I'm saying? He's right there. I mean, I get it, and we're gonna obviously hype up our first player, but like Chucky's role should have been a lot stronger here, and it shouldn't be like. Honestly, when was the last time he scored?
LAFC.
Yeah.
And that was maybe, I think, like 3 games ago.
Right, and so it's just like, yeah, important goal. You know what I'm saying?
Huge goal.
Right?
That was his best game.
Right,
like,
of course.
And I think we want to see that Chucky go in. I think this was the game that I think could have had a similar kind of outlook on it if he played similar to like what an LAFC kind of looked like.
And he did. You know what I'm saying? Which is weird. It's just he just didn't take.
You know why? It's because, to your point, Houston still had at least something to kind of play for. So they were playing that offensive style that kind of helps us out in the long run to create chances and to really be threatening in front of goal. And I think that's a part of the reason why we were actually creating a lot of really good chances. I want to kind of read off some stats here. 16 shots, 6 on target. To me, that's more than enough like shots on target that I would think is sufficient enough to put some in the back of the net. And thankfully, we put 4 out of 6.
100%.
So,
but again, like just go back to the conversation. Why is it not Chucky scoring those? And you're right. Like yes, today that game was where he needed to come out. And is he playing less to his abilities, or why is Chucky only showing up when he wants to show up? Can we trust him in playoffs? Like those are all really big, viable questions that need to continue forward, because it's like at some point I think it's like a crutch. And I know
to
it
have
sounds,
him in.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think for me, and I'm going to push back on you because I disagree, because I think Chucky definitely kind of brings something that some of these other kind of players like a Maitin or like a Vasquez don't bring. I think number 1, experience, number 1. I think number 2, obviously the quality compared to the other 2 players that I mentioned really aren't at the level of a Chucky Lozano, because even then I feel like Maitin really isn't that lethal in front of goal. David Vasquez has only scored 1 goal for us too. So it's like I feel like if you're talking about full on out and out output, right? I think Chucky is going to be the guy that kind of gets the best out of even guys around him as well.
Right.
And I think that connection of a Negri and a Chucky, I think definitely needs to be kind of studied and looked at, because I think, as great as I love Bombino, I think it's very clear that he has more chemistry with a Negri. And I think it's just so blatantly obvious, because a lot of the games that you see Chucky play his best, Negri is also on the pitch as well.
Right.
I think, obviously, I said that LAFC was Chucky's best game, and obviously Negri didn't feature in that game. But it's like when you kind of look at the game that Chucky had, right? Let's just take off like goals and numbers and everything like that. I think it was a good performance, because the things that you could put in, he was getting in the right space at the right time. He was being like kind of a nuisance, kind of threatening in these certain
even coming
moments.
back,
coming back as well. So it's like he kind of gives you that going forward. So I think it's just a matter of time, I think, before he kind of like clocks it, because I think playoffs is around a corner. I think that's where you're going to kind of see the next level, I think, be unlocked, because it's like it's been a while since Chucky's played a high intensity match, right? I think in terms of like his his long career, right. At loads of clubs. But yeah, go ahead.
No, and I think you're right. I think maybe there's the mentality is just like playoffs is different. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see if that unlocks or not. And we'll keep going forward. And of course, I think he's important. But do you think we still have the same output or the same result if he stayed in?
If Chucky stayed in, yeah, I think so, because let's see, I'm looking at like the timeline of the game, and he got subbed out. Yeah, he got subbed out at halftime actually for Pellegrino. I think we definitely switched around the formation a little bit with Pellegrino in.
Honestly,
and
I
Bayard
think
moved to the left a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it kind of opened up a little bit of stuff. And I mean, look, Pellegrino comes in, right? And I mean, 4 minutes later, we get a penalty. He got a pen. He earned us a pen at the end of the day. So I want to talk about Pellegrino real quick, because he's been getting a lot of stick from
you were one of them.
Was I one of them?
Yeah, you're one of them.
I don't think so.
Not huge, but
not
slight.
huge. Of course, I had my criticism because I said last podcast, what more can he do to kind of get in the right spaces at the right time, and what more can he do to kind of influence the game a little bit more? And guess what? He was a lot more involved in this game than last. So Pellegrino, Amal, if you're watching the podcast, my friend, drop a little comment.
Say sorry.
I'm sorry. I mean, look, I don't want to say like it was negative at all.
No, it was not negative. You said what you felt. Yeah.
It's how I interpreted his performances
prematurely.
I don't know, because it's like the cameos that he's came into, right? I feel like he's had that like spark, right? I remember that first game that he played in, right? He was influential, right? Coming in as a sub, and I thought he was very good, right? And I think he regressed a little bit, but I think this was kind of the moment that he kind of realized that it's like, okay, I really need to like understand the gravity of the situation right now, where the club is at right now. And look, he was a lot more involved in this one. His link-up play was very good, and I think the chances that he created, right? I mean, he got a goal and 2 assists this game.
Well, and not only that, he created, the reason we got a penalty was off of him.
Yeah, he
drew the penalty.
Yeah, so
and he was in a position to score, by the way, as well, 100%, too, in there. So
yeah, they push him down, 100% a penalty. And again, it's just about him being influential and him being involved in these sorts of moments. And it's like, that's like, look at how much more threatening and look how much more I think comfortable we were like in this game when we had a presence up top. Right. And you always see San Diego FC like always play good and always have a positive performance when they have that presence up top of somebody, right? So,
and like I said before, and I said again, I think it was just too soon to be judging Pellegrino just based on him coming mid-season, not even mid-season, little late there in the season to come into a new team. But he started. I knew like. There's like a real passion inside of him for like, it's weirdly to say, but since coming here, he didn't seem like an outcast. I mean, like I said, his first game that he was with us, he was out there like saying hi to fans and everything like that, like being very nice. And again, from that first game, like seemed like he was going to inject himself in a very positive way with the team and with the squad. And I mean, after he scored his last goal, we'll get into, but like the way you see that everybody comes to him and celebrates was like very
Yeah.
quickly, really quickly that you
Like
would
they embraced him.
right that you would not expect
Right.
from you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
from a new player this late in the thing. But at the end of the
Definitely.
day, like he genuinely acted. Maybe not our top 9 ever,
Of course.
but there was a presence of a 9 there
Yeah.
compared to. Again, Brayer, I think he did his
Yeah, he did his job.
He did his job. But compared to Tomas Angel before,
Yeah.
and then having Valakari or Dreyer as that striker, I think it really showed what happens. Even if we just have a tiny sliver of a 9, you know what can happen. And I think Pellegrino really stood out amazingly this game, and I think he deserved the MVP throughout the whole entire. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
he changed the game. Without him, I don't think we have the game that we
Oh
have.
yeah, 1,000,000%. He was influential in that second half, and it's like going to that second goal that we thought was the winner at the time, right? The De La Torre,
Right.
2-1, right in the 85th. Pellegrino also gets that assist. I wanted to talk about kind of what happened after, right? Where we go up, right? Everything's all good and great.
You don't want to enjoy about the goal for a little bit?
I mean, we could talk about the goal a little bit, but it's like I just feel like this goal was just completely shut out based off of what happened after the
Right,
fact.
but there's 2 things that I loved about it.
Go ahead.
One, I think 3. One, Pellegrino's ability to be calm in a situation like that and pass the ball to De La Torre.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, again, by 9. Not even looking to shoot, but to essentially... And he kind of was floating as a central forward, you know what I'm saying? To be there and pass. Second, De La Torre's injection to the game,
Yeah. Beautiful.
like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, man. Like it just... You completely see a new San Diego.
Yeah, he was having like an out of body experience. Just like every touch that he had, it was perfect to the right areas that he wanted to be. So yeah,
No, and like I said, like we talk about again, is just like our midfield has been kind of dead lately, but it's missing De La Torre.
Yeah.
Really, really so much. He's just so good.
I think I hate to say it. I think Godoy, you gotta swap him out.
I agree. Going forward,
Yeah.
going forward. But I think De La Torre coming in as that sub was just
Great.
just injected so much fuel into it.
A lot of quality. As well.
And then last but not least, we have talked about De La Torre's quietness throughout the season and how we don't know if he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
We don't know or anything like that. By the way, after he scored that goal, he grabbed his badge and went like this.
Is that
so
like a
I don't know
little-
if it's a little touch or not, but regardless, I'm grateful from not hearing from somebody a lot who's very like quiet, who we never know if he's a fan of
Sure.
San Diego or not, to kind of embrace his San
Right.
Diegan, because he's San Diegan,
Yeah,
by the way,
that's
guys,
right.
to embrace his San Diegan side and look at that badge and say, I think there's only been another player, Olowski, who's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been another player
The
to do
only
it. But
players from San Diego on this roster is Bayard, Ilowski, and De La Torre.
no, but what I'm saying is who's like going
like
at the
put-
badge,
like
yeah,
embraced
the
it
badge,
and everything, right, yeah.
So I think Ian was one of them as well too.
Ian
Maybe
is not from San Diego.
no, but he was one of them to embrace the badge.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
I think after his goal he did something like that, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Regardless, though, I think that was really cool to see from De La Torre, to just kind of like, again, somebody who doesn't speak a lot, to just
Yeah.
essentially like be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I do love this club.
You think that's kind of playing into something a little bit?
I mean, I hope so. I really do, because he's, we haven't known, and I don't think we'll ever know until it comes face.
Sure.
But I genuinely do think, like, I didn't know if he really liked his role here, or if he felt happy here, because he is on loan and he was obviously playing in Spain and everything. But at the end of the day, even if he is alone, I hope that he feels at home here no matter what.
Yeah.
And that point to it kind of, I think maybe he does go back and he, leaves this off as like this is my home, whatever. I'll still love this team. I'll come back to this team forever. You know what I'm saying? I hope he realizes how important he is to San Diego and really for this team.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's always like kind of moments where De La Torre really pops up and it's very prominent, right? When he has a
Right.
very good game, because it's like he just makes that stamp in that game to really, just say like, I'm here, right?
Right.
And I think this was one of those moments where De La Torre got injected in the game, and I mean, he flipped the game on its head, right?
100%. But yeah, go back to what we
Yeah,
what we
literally, he
lost.
comes in as a sub at the 84th minute, scores at the 85th.
Yeah, insane.
So,
No,
that-
it was just
Yeah.
one of those, like you said, beautiful moments, and I think it was even more beautiful to see him. He doesn't see this team as another lone team. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He sees it as
primary team.
Yeah.
I think it's also because it's like he is also getting that chance at the national team level, where it's like before when he was in Spain with Celta Vigo, he wasn't getting called up like that
Right, right.
often like that. So it's like if he sees San Diego FC as still a gateway to get into the national team and maybe be at the World Cup, hopefully,
Right, who
I think
knows?
that'd be dope. Then that's definitely a huge possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that really brought the mood down was the goal right after. And this is something that I have a very, very big problem with, because it's like, I feel like we've seen a lot of times where San Diego FC, we get like caught up in the moment and then bing, bang, boom, we get conceded on, or like a negative moment happens. And this was exactly it, where it was like, how, like, why, like, where's the concentration, right? Like that moment where it's like, we just did a phenomenal thing. We came back from a goal. We have the lead this late in the game as well, at the 85th minute.
Right.
And I mean, that's, in hindsight, talking about, when that amount of added
12,
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's a whole extra.
But still, no,
half.
regardless.
But it's like, that to me, this whole game, right, as great as it was, this is the moment in the game that really worries me about going in the future of playoffs and everything like that. Whereas it's like, why are we not able to have that concentration for the next 5 minutes to see out the 90? That for me is kind of where the alarm bells kind of start ringing.
I agree with you 100%. I think it was as soon as you see that, because we're going to talk about these next two goals, which are very important and pivotal. But
Yes.
I think regardless or not, we shouldn't count on scoring these many goals, because it's once. I wouldn't say it's not once a lifetime, but regardless, like that lack of concentration, that goal to come that fast is only based on lack of concentration. It's not for any other reason. It's not because Houston Dynamo did something great, or Dynamite or whatever. Dynamo or Dynamite?
Dynamo.
Yeah, didn't do something great. It was purely lack of concentration from San Diego,
Right.
who was caught off a bad pass, intercepted, and just it was a stinker of a play. And I don't think it's something that should be worried about, like you said, like because in playoffs, where no team is going to be forgiving like that. You know what I'm saying? And who knows what happens going forward. We just got lucky that, honestly, Houston had to win.
Yeah, they had to win, so it's like they kind of gave us like that ability to kind of go up and kind of do our things. And I mean that.
But we also needed to win as well too. And I mean, after that goal,
yeah.
I mean, you see these last 5 minutes essentially, like San Diego's hammering.
Yeah, I think we turned it up like
Of
5
course.
notches, because it's like that is the reaction that I wanted to
100%.
see, right? Where I was talking about in last video, where it's like, right, we're down or we're tied, and it's like kind of the later stages of the game, and it's like we kind of knew the situation. We're like, what the hell? Like, how did we concede that goal?
Exactly.
And after that, right? I mean, look, then 2 minutes later, Anders.
Right, and I think to your point exactly is, like against San Jose, we don't see that. After that goal, we don't. Yes, we see a San Diego who's attacking a little bit more, but not.
It wasn't
not
like this.
against Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
Not this and like with this much drive, and neither with with Portland it was just too late. You know what I'm saying? But I think in those last 4 to 5 games, this is the first time we have seen since LAFC a San Diego team really like attacking with a lot of fucking passion, and that's what happened. Like you said, Willie comes in.
Willie, yeah, man, what a player, dude.
Right.
What a player. Like, I really, really missed his presence in this team. And I mean, he's got the chemistry with Manu, he's got the chemistry with Maiton, he's got the chemistry with a lot of these teams, because it's like we talk about the style of play, right? We talk about how, these players are born and bred, and it's like Willie knows this style of play like the back of his hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just so refreshing to see someone like that who's experienced in this style and who kind of knows this system, you know, and it was really good to see him again.
No, to your point, I think we keep like the way that we have our right defense, whether it's Verhoeven or I can't say his name, Harangi. But I think what Willie gives you is just you throw him in
It's
at any second,
else.
at that second. But he is such a pivotal super sub.
Yeah, he's a pistol.
Like
man.
insane, and it's like maybe if you played Willie throughout the whole game, it's not going to be the same. But when you throw him in, God, because I think this is his second like goal contribution where it's just like he's come in, and because of that we've won the game. And it's like Willie comes in so quick and with the ability, and again, literally down the line, cross, Pellegrino's there.
Yeah, man.
Again, and then shout out again. Like, it's all perfect, by the way. Pellegrino's ability, or Anders' ability to, I can't shoot here. You know what I'm saying?
Passes it.
To Pellegrino. And Pellegrino also sees his ability. But then if you look quickly, and especially in the highlight, you see Anders kind of stop and go, oh, Pellegrino's going to give it back. And to give it to Dreyer again, it was just like...
It's that chemistry.
It was beautiful, and it's kind of like... You know, it's we were talking, but it's just like Mikey Vada said, it's just those little things. Because you talked to me, San Diego, like halfway through the season last time, they would have genuinely shit the bed on this one. But it was just like everybody's calmness to, like, we have control, we can make these passes, we do these passes every day in practice. There's what, 6.
Yeah, there's that box is filled
and
with orange shirts.
Dreyer and Pellegrino just
they had
so
the calmness,
calm.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what, like, you know, Pellegrino could have shot early,
Yeah.
didn't, but just perfect.
Yeah. It's is it the Nordic kind of chemistry?
I don't know. It might have to be
Valakari, Finland. You got Norway with Pellegrino and Denmark with all them, man. We need a Swede in there now.
Well, Turskov, or no, he's Denmark. No,
Chris McVeigh. Shout out Denmark. Shout out Sweden and Norway. Yeah. If y'all are from them Nordic countries, leave it in the comment section below. But
we love you because we met some cool
guys. we met some cool Donnies.
Yeah.
Some
they're
very
SDSU,
tall,
yeah, very tall.
They're tall, bro.
Very
built like Holland, real tall.
No, literally
Holland.
Beautiful men too.
Beautiful people. Beautiful people. We love you, Norway.
Regardless, I think after that goal, it was just
a jubilation. Right. Everybody was so happy. Everyone was, I think, relieved as well. And I think that's like kind of I think that's the best word that I can describe the feeling after that third goal went in, was relief. Because we were always talking about, okay, we just went down a goal. How are we going to react? And I mean, a big shout out to Dago boys in the Frontera, because they kept like that energy and like that belief.
Man, it is.
Like, I think that's like one thing that I really want to like, that it's crazy how like infectious like that could be, and it's like that just changes the whole like mood, because it's like even like in the vlog, like you could see it's like we're literally like this, like hands in, or head in hand,
exactly,
and everything like that, and it's like so
one of the Dago boys, I think again, like I'd take fault in that too, because one of the Dago boys, he came up to me and was just like, what are you doing? Like, we keep going till the 90th minute. Like, don't stop. Yeah. And I was like, it just was like, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because your team just, essentially lost for this and that. But his mentality was like, no, we keep going. Like, don't stop. They need us more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The city needed more than ever. I was like, you're right. And I mean, point proven. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And what happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It only took 2 minutes for Dreyer to get into that area to score a goal. And I think after that, it's like, it's kind of crazy, because it's like, look, if I'm Mikey Vadas, I'm telling everyone, get your ass in the box. You are not leaving our box until we hear that 90th minute whistle. But to their credit, they wanted a fourth. They wanted to really make a statement. Pellegrino with a nice little one-on-one, he kind of just creates that opportunity on his own. Yepe gets the assist, and I mean, look, plus 90th minute goal plus 13 is, I think, all you need to know. Definitely was not that much added minutes. That is outrageous.
No, I agree. And I think, to your point, I think Houston allowed us to attack a little bit more, or feel more a little bit comfortable, because Houston genuinely they also needed to win. So they're frantically just even trying to scrape a tie, hopefully. Drop the ball, allow us to attack a lot, and then honestly allowed Pellegrino to make that run. And I mean, just a great typical night, just so confident too, man. Like that
just opens up his hips and just curls it around.
I mean, like, how old is he? He's pretty old, right?
Oof, Pellegrino. Let's take a little guess. How old do you think?
I think he's like 33.
35.
35. I mean, he's been in that situation.
He's old, man.
He's been in that situation more than you and I, right?
Real talk.
But so it's like you just knew he was gonna slot it in. It's the high, everything that he's doing. And I think it's one of those magical moments in soccer.
I think even in our short history,
I agree
of
too.
SDFC, right? Pellegrino definitely has, I think, a chip on his shoulder as well, because a lot of these fans, man, they were on his case, especially the last game. Where they were talking about, oh, he's useless, he's this, he's that. But it's like, I think this is, the type of performance Pellegrino can give you. maybe not as a starter, but definitely as kind of like an injection to kind of be like, if we can read the game to the point where it's like, okay, we know when to inject a Pellegrino in there, then I think that's how you're going to get the best out of him.
100%. And honestly, he was, I just beyond belief. And again,
Yeah.
like I said, just a magical moment for him to be even to get that goal as well too.
Yeah.
And really for his first debut goal for San Diego.
Yeah.
And to just after that performance that he made to just be able to just have such a nice, and it was all by himself too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just like the second half was dictated by Pellegrino.
Right, and honestly, I miss having a number 9
Yeah.
who genuinely can take a run on his own and make a goal like that. So
because it's like it was kind of like reminiscent of an
Nalosky,
Alosky
right? It
goal.
finally felt firsthand,
Yeah.
like oh wow, we have a number 9 taking the lead.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully we can continue to keep doing that, but. It felt a little refreshing to at least get that last.
I think if we want to get the best out of our team, right, this is the case study.
Right.
This is the case study that we can go back to and kind of look at as like the blueprint to be like, okay, how do we get the best out of a Pellegrino? How do we get the best out of a Bayard, a De La Torre? And like just, I think so many pieces of the puzzle added together. And again, I think I tip my hat to Mikey Varas again. I think he got this game spot on, right? Even though I think the types of goals that we concede, I think the second goal that we conceded, I think it's a little fluky, right? Because I can't really see that happening again. I mean, flipping hell, knock on wood, right? But regardless of the fact is, I think the game plan came in, and I think we hit it on we hit the nail on the head, because it's like during the whole game, I still felt like we were in control, and I felt like we were kind of dominating in certain areas and everything like that.
It's just I think it's just one of those things. Is like all of these games we've dominated, but it just we don't see that last effort, the final product, and we finally got to see that final product. Like, but again, we're still a while away from playoffs. Who knows? But two things that we are sure of. San Diego has written history.
That's right.
Rewritten history.
Most points for an expansion side and most wins for an expansion side, which is absolutely incredible.
And we still have one more game, too.
And we still have one more game. So
who knows?
Potentially end the season with 63 points.
Hopefully. But still, regardless, it's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to be there for a while as well, too.
Yeah, definitely.
So glad on us to be able to keep putting that bar higher.
Definitely.
Especially for the next team that has to come in.
Next expansion.
Yeah, next expansion. If there is one, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
But if there is, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully. And then the second thing, we are out of the Supporter Shield race.
Yeah.
But big shout out to
big shout out to Milan Ilosky, right? I think
you deserved something out of this, whatever you did.
This whole season, this was a breakout year,
right? So
for Milan Ilosky, he showed his quality. He showed that he deserves to be on a top club, right? To be paid those big bucks. And I mean, look, I think, right? I always say words talk, numbers scream, but numbers scream, but trophies just yell, right? They just they have such a big impact on just anything, and it's like, look, I would not be surprised if Philadelphia is like, we could get more.
Yeah,
we could get more silverware this season.
No, I agree. Congrats to them. At the end of the day, they did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Philadelphia
they
clinched it very well, especially in this later half.
Yeah.
Milan, I think, was very pivotal in that as well too.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him, and hopefully this is the last thing that they win.
Yeah.
Real talk. I'm glad Milan can feel happy, better paycheck, bigger bucks, and winning a Supporter Shield, but San Diego still need to win the cup. So.
Yeah, like I said at the end of the vlog, job's not finished.
Right.
Job is not finished. I think there's still a lot to play for. I think there's still a lot to kind of look forward to. And as great as this win was, I think, we take that momentum, we take that high, and we take that belief that we can win games and we can,
100%
dictate moments in a match that define the game. And I mean, I think next game versus Portland, which let's preview that game, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit about playoffs. But Portland, the game is going to be an interesting one, just because solely off of the fact, I think all the playoff spots that you can qualify for automatic are already taken. They're good. So the only teams that are fighting for the wild card spot are 11th through 8th, and that's a 3-point gap. So literally whoever wins their next game, they're probably going to go into playoffs. But Portland, they're already set in stone. They're good to go. But what are your kind of thoughts on this game, considering how last time it ended, 0-0?
Right.
0-0 at us, and that's when we clinched. to go into playoffs. So
Yeah.
what are your kind of thoughts? They sit 7th place.
Wait, who's the team that like rocked us?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I was in Portland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Real quick though, before you say Minnesota's last 3 games.
Portland, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me, Portland. They lost to Seattle. They tied versus Dallas, and then they tied versus Vancouver. So, what are you kind of thinking about in this next game versus Portland?
Yeah, I think it really depends on this Saturday's game, Vancouver's game, because I think it really dictates what can and can't happen. Essentially, because the max we can make is 3 points.
That's
we are
right.
tied with Vancouver. We're tied with Vancouver. So if they win Saturday, no matter what, at most we can tie them. So I don't think if that is the case, I think Mikey Vada says, you know what, F it. I don't want to risk anything like that. I'm gonna put essentially
Like throw the kids
out there because it's not worth it essentially,
Right.
and it's okay. It's great to stay first place, but really there's nothing as of importance.
Yeah, the lowest we can finish, I think, because LAFC still have a lot of games in hand. They still got 2 games in hand. So I think the absolute lowest we can finish, I think, is 3rd or 4th place.
Right. So I mean, like I said, I don't know if these standings are now that important for us. Of course, like we'd love to have like that big name, stay at the first, whatever. But I think at this point, it's just like it is what it is. And if Vancouver truly wins on Saturday, then I think Mikey Vadas just says, it is what it is. The max that we can get are 3 points. We're not going to fight for first. Let's at least try to get a win out there, but we're not gonna be pressing ourselves. It is not a game to bet, Vince.
So then that begs the question. It's like if we lose the last game of the season versus Portland, is that concerning to you? No. That you don't think is going to affect us going into playoffs at all?
No. I'm hoping for a win, and I hope this and that, but I think there's too much of a gap between last game and the next game to even be that. And I think it's an out of sight mind game. I think I truly believe.
Good point, actually.
I truly believe this game against Houston was it. That was the game.
Yeah.
And I think the club knew that. I think the players knew that. I think even Pacific Beach knew it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This game on Saturday is too. This next coming game on Saturday is too. It's not. There's not worth anything. Essentially, it really isn't anything like that. It's peanuts. Of course, we can take first. If Vancouver loses, I think we take a little bit more seriously. You know what I'm saying? We stay there. But genuinely, I don't like. I don't want to risk a Dryer getting injured with our injuries.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk. I don't even want Mike Vartan to come back in if he's healthy now. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
You think this would maybe be a game where it's like the guys who really haven't gotten minutes get some game time?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if I'm Mikey Vadas, I'm doing that. I don't want to tip this. I wouldn't want to tip the scales for a first place. Like like I said before, risk versus reward, and I think the risk is far too much for the reward that we would get.
Yeah.
And not in my logic. That's you know what I'm saying.
Right.
We play what's it called?
Yeah. No, I think you made a really good point about like if Vancouver, right, if they have first place done and dusted, right, then I think we do kind of take the backseat in the next game and we kind of definitely kind of play our cards. And I also like how you said that the last game of the season is far enough from playoffs where it's like we can kind of put it aside a little bit and kind of forget about that. So I actually like that point a lot because I think that's a lot of the times where it's like kind of get caught up in the results and kind of everything like that.
Right.
But like how I mentioned last video and how you mentioned this one, the game versus Houston, this was the one that we had to win.
Of course.
Right? Because it's like if we don't get a good result versus Houston, right? And meaning if we lose or tie, then you go into Portland, then we're really asking a lot of questions.
And then are we playing hard against Houston? Are we playing hard against Portland?
Right.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we needed to have a win.
Yeah.
The win needed to happen then.
1,000,000%.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
I 100% agree. So then, I think we're obviously at, kind of the second to last, literally the last game of the season right here. Where do you think San Diego is going to finish?
I hope first, but it really depends on Vancouver's.
Give me a number.
I'll go third.
Third?
Second.
Second place?
Yeah, second.
Okay, so you're banking on Minnesota to lose then.
Who are they playing?
They are playing LA Galaxy.
Oh man. Yeah.
They're in LA.
Yeah. No.
So Galaxy, if y'all can do us a favor real quick for the little
Yeah,
cousins
just
down
end it.
south.
Yeah, end it real quick.
But yeah, so yeah, that's a dub, isn't it? That's a dub for Minnesota, real talk, especially last game of the season. But yeah, but guys, let me know what you guys think of this game versus Houston. What do you kind of think about the table right now? Do we take Portland serious? Is it kind of going to affect us in the first stages of playoffs? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, check us out in the links in the description, at Instagram, on the TikTok, everything like that. Make sure you guys check out norte.mx for these dope SDFC hats. Carlos, you haven't done this in a while. What do you got to say to the people of San Diego?
I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. I don't want my words to hold any weight, but I think just through and through, this season has just been just a beautiful. Like, I look back at photos or things like that, just has been like, I never even back to us, like thinking back to the first time we were talking or doing these podcasts. Like, it was a rainy day in San Diego when we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's been a long time, and I know a lot of people can feel the same way looking back. You know, it's our first season. There's a lot of history that's been made, a lot of things, and I don't think any one of us would have ever thought that this was going to be how the season turned out to be. But I could only be proud of, like, just everything that's happened. I could be proud of this team and just really just the amount of fans who have shown out for San Diego, and just the continued support that I see for San Diego FC, and just the community that's being built out here. It genuinely feels like a family. It's weird to say, you know what I'm saying? But it really does. It feels like anybody can walk in and genuinely just enjoying a moment watching a soccer game. A thrilling one, to say the least.
Yeah.
And a thrilling team.
Yeah.
And a team that, and we talk about it like just Padres, just baseball. But again, like, sometimes these people feel larger than life playing in San Diego, or, you know, not related to San Diego. I think the last, like, Tatis is probably the only project I can talk about that does that. You know what I'm saying? But something about this soccer team is that you see every single one of these players, like, in love with this team. And I think Mikey Varas has instilled something in this team. This club has instilled something in San Diego that says we're here, and we're not here just because we're a professional team and we chose San Diego out of all the places. It's because we love San Diego and we want to do everything for San Diego. And it's something that just throughout this season has just warmed my heart, it's everything that I've ever wanted from anything. I think it's anything that the fans wanted, and it's just a great thank you for the end of the season and everything that's happened. But San Diego, you've outdone yourself, I think. I think San Diego as a whole, San Diego as a city, as a place, I think they've outdone themselves, and we don't know what's going to happen after playoffs or anything like that, or what the rest of these years have to hold us, but I think for the rest of our lives, and anybody who's watching will remember this year as something that really great happened to San Diego, and hopefully, you know, it's something we can tell our kids and everything like that, that our hometown did something like this and be proud of continuously.
Damn.
Yeah.
Making me want to tear up.
I love San Diego.
Real talk. Yeah. But yeah, no, could not have said that better myself, guys. Again, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check us out. Links in the description below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.